I'm really running the New York City Marathon. I'm holding on. This is hard.
I'm working on my foreign voice.
On Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, I ran the New York City Marathon. I started my journey to the New York City Marathon back in December of 2023. I was running my second ever half marathon in Central Park, and I found out about the 9+1 program. The 9+1 program is one of a few different ways you can qualify for the New York City Marathon, because it is a very hard race to get into. The way that the 9+1 program works is you run 9 races and volunteer at one running event in a calendar year, and that qualifies you for the following year's New York City Marathon. So in 2024, I planned my year around these races, making sure that I could still travel and play the shows that I had on the calendar, but pretty much any time that I was back home in New York City, I had a race. I ran a couple longer half marathons. I ran some very, very sweaty summer races. I ran in the rain. And then in August of 2024, I officially qualified for the 2025 TCS New York City Marathon. 2024 was about qualifying for the marathon, and 2025 was about training for it. In July of 2025, I began my official 4-month-long training block for the New York City Marathon. Today is July 1st, 2025, and it is the first day of my training for the New York City Marathon. I have 4 months of training ahead of me, and I know that a lot is going to change between now and November 2nd when I run the New York City Marathon. So I wanted to document the journey, especially starting today, where I have no idea what's about to happen. It is week 3 of marathon training, and I have to do 5 miles today, but I'm in Mexico. And unfortunately, marathon training does not stop for travel or vacation. So I gotta get 5 miles in here in Tulum. But luckily, I found a run club that meets at 7 a.m. on Fridays, and hopefully they're doing enough mileage, or I'll do some of my miles with them and then run the rest on my own. It is week 7 of my marathon training, and I have 12 miles on the docket for today. So I've signed up for an official training run. This is my first race of this training block, and I'm a bit nervous, but I think it'll be a good way to practice my pacing, my hydration, and it's here in Central Park, so it'll be a good time. It is week 10 of training for the New York City Marathon, and I have 15 miles on the calendar for today, which means I'm currently doing my longest run ever. And it means from here on out, all of my longer runs each time will be my longest run ever until the marathon. I've decided to do a little bit of a course preview. So I'm running 2 of the bridges that are on the marathon course. The bridge from Brooklyn to Queens and from Queens to Manhattan, and then doing a bunch more miles after that. I just ran the Bronx 10 miler, and it is my long run day, but I don't have a 10-mile run on the schedule for today. I have a 16-mile run. So I've collected my medal, I finished my 10, and now I'm gonna go run 6 more miles with my medal in my pocket. It is week 12 of training for the New York City Marathon, and as you can tell, I'm on a boat. I have to do 8 miles today, and I'm going to be using the cruise ship jogging track, and I'm going to be doing a lot of laps. So hopefully this goes well. There are 5 weeks left until the New York City Marathon, and in a bizarre turn of events, I'm in Japan. It is pretty crazy that I will now be finishing my marathon training in Japan, but I'm so excited to be here, and this is a great country for running, so it's a very good place to be. We are now just about 3 weeks out from the New York City Marathon, and I'm about to go for my longest run ever. It's going to be 20 miles, the longest that I'm running ahead of the marathon, the longest that I've ever run, and I'm here in Japan, which is amazing and still something that I haven't fully wrapped my head around. I definitely did not know that I would be finishing my marathon training in Japan. It's hard to see on camera, but I'm running along the beach, staying at Fukuoka Tower. It's so sunny and beautiful. This is amazing. We are now just 4 days out from the New York City Marathon. I have just arrived back in New York after a 24-hour travel day from Fukuoka to Tokyo and then a 13-hour flight from Tokyo to New York City. I'm very excited to get some much needed rest, but I came home to a very special surprise. I have a package from New Balance. The team at New Balance sent me some New York City Marathon merch to get me all ready and excited for race day. They sent me new shorts, a running top, and an official NYC Marathon 2025 jacket. I am absolutely obsessed with this jacket. I'm a little superstitious, so I'm afraid to wear it before the race, but after Sunday, you will catch me living in this thing. We are here. We have made it to the NYC Marathon Expo at the Javits Center here in Manhattan. I could not be more excited. Today we get to pick up our bibs. We're gonna get our shirts. We're probably gonna do a little bit of shopping. There's a lot to see here, a lot to do, so we're gonna take it all in. We're here the first day that the expo opened. I stupidly thought maybe we'd be beating some of the crowds. Absolutely not. There's so many people here, and there's just a really exciting energy.
It feels a little bit heavy, like I'm told it should. I was a little unready, didn't know if I could. With everything and nothing holding me here, now I'm making plans for the rest of the year. And everyone's saying it's not a choice that I need to make. It's just a voice pointing out everything that's at stake. No one I know is gonna show me the way, but I know staying put is still choosing to stay.
It is absolute madness here in the New Balance merch area. So many people, so much merch. It's a lot to take in. We got a first We made it through the New Balance portion. My mom has a new jacket that she will not be wearing until after Sunday. And now we're gonna go see our names on the runner's wall.
He talks a little bit to me like I wished he would. He sees a little bit through me where the walls once stood. With everything and nothing pouring out my lips,
Now it's feeling very real. Like I'm really running a marathon on Sunday.
I can look for the fix, and everyone is saying it's not a choice that I need to make. It's just a voice pointing out everything that's at stake. No one I know is gonna show me the way, but I know staying put is still choosing to stay.
Somehow we've accidentally been here for over 3 hours, but there's so much to see, so much to look at. I'm definitely getting a little tired, and I do think my jet lag is potentially catching up, so I think it's probably time to go and sit down and take a rest and get ready for Sunday. It is Friday, which means we have officially 2 more days until the New York City Marathon, and it's also Halloween, which explains this whole costume situation. I am here in Columbus Circle because I am taking part in a shakeout run with Fleet Feet. Definitely not my typical Halloween, but I think it's an extra special one. realized we were gonna get this close to the finish line tonight. It's getting very real. It is the morning before the marathon and I'm back here in Central Park, back at the finish line where I was just last night, where I will be tomorrow. We're in the final 24 hours, which I still haven't wrapped my head around, but I'm back here because I was invited by Abbott to join their Team Abbott finish line meetup. There's an event for a bunch of different runners. I think some of the race directors for the other World Vapor Marathons are gonna be there. There are going to be some speakers, we're going to take some photos, we're going to get to see the finish line up close in the daylight, which is currently closed to the public, so it's all just really special and I'm so excited to be here. So thank you, Abbott, so much for inviting me. They just let us into the finish line area. No one else is allowed here right now. This is so crazy. This is so incredible. I feel just so beyond lucky to be here. And I can't believe that the next time I'm right here, I will have just finished my first marathon.
Somehow, this is it. We're here. The training's done, the anticipation is done, and it's just time for the race. You've all seen as well that I'm not doing this alone. My mom is running it with me, which is something that I can't put into words just how meaningful that is. I definitely started running because of my mom. When I say I had the idea to run this marathon, it was my mom's idea. It was something I had always wanted to do as a kid growing up in New York City. I remember going to watch the marathon when I was in 4th grade because my teacher was running. It's always been a big part of life in New York City. I think anyone from the city can attest. Whether you're a runner or not, New York City Marathon Day is a big deal. I always thought maybe one day, but it was definitely my mom's support, encouragement, and also the fact that she just decided she was gonna do that for the first time. That's what made this possible for me.
The journey to the start line for the New York City Marathon is long. You wake up hours before the time you'll actually start running to take, in my case, a subway to the Staten Island ferry to a bus that takes you to the start village here on Staten Island. The entire process took a few hours, but it actually went very smoothly. And now we're here on Staten Island, and I start the marathon in less than an hour. This is it. We are walking to the start line, and then I run my first ever marathon. I can't believe it.
Athletes, are we ready? On your mark.
We just started. I've already cried once when the cannon went off, and I feel like now, finally, this feels real, and I'm really running the New York City Marathon.
By the dark of a red light, by the grace of a frozen moon, there's a fire outside.
1 mile down, 25.2 to go.
And they just came up from the roof, and I never knew I could be this young.
So I'm just about 5 miles in. I won't lie, I am cramping up a bit, which is obviously scary this early in the race. But I'm telling myself that it's all in my head and everything's gonna be fine. And I'm on a downhill right now, so it's fine.
This chaos tastes a little different. I give up on the time like it's always been a choice. And I don't speak the language of this music, but I'm waiting on
this point in time, I'm not sure if I actually took any clips in Queens, but we're leaving Queens. We're going to Manhattan. I'm tired.
I already know this is a story that won't be told. Beneath the weight of everything I don't have to hold. We're not keeping track and there's nothing overhead.
We're about to leave Manhattan, going to the Bronx, to come back into Manhattan. We're in the last couple of miles, but oh my goodness, I feel like we're so far from the end, but I'm holding on. This is hard. Now, every step I run is the farthest I've ever run.
This chaos tastes a little different.
I made it to Central Park. I'm going so slow.
I give up on the time like it's always been a choice. And I don't speak the language of this music, but I'm working on my foreign voice.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
That's so hard. I knew it'd be hard,
You had
but it was
fun
even
today.
harder. And this is, wow.
It's been a couple of days since the marathon. The celebrations have started to die down, and I'm really starting to process the entire experience. This was almost 2 full years of qualifying and training, all leading up to one day, a couple of hours on Sunday. But it is, of course, so much more than that. And it's something that is really hard to conceptualize, even now, having done it, sitting here in my jacket and my medal. It still doesn't feel quite real. Anytime that you do something for the first time, no matter how hard you've worked for it, no matter how long you've thought about it, how much you've pictured what it might feel like, you never really know how it's gonna go. To give you an example, I ran my first half marathon in 2019 at a time around 2 hours and 37 minutes. In May of this year, my most recent half marathon, I ran in 2 hours and 20 seconds. A 40-minute difference in your race time is really, really significant. And I think that it just speaks to my experience. I had no idea in 2019 what I was capable of, so I had no idea what to set as a goal. So with this marathon, I set a loose goal of around 4 hours and 30 minutes, and it did not happen. To give you a little bit of a race recap, the first 10 miles of this race were awesome. You start with 2 miles on the Verrazano Bridge, leaving Staten Island and entering Brooklyn, and then you're in Brooklyn pretty much up until the half marathon marker. And Brooklyn is just a party. There are crazy crowds. Everyone is screaming your name if you have it written on your shirt like I did. I saw my brother somewhere between miles 8 and 9, which gave me a huge burst of energy, which I was very grateful for because at about mile 10, I was already starting to lose that energy. There are a lot of hills on this course, and all I wanted was to make sure that I finished strong, or at least as strong as possible. So about 14 or 15 miles in, somewhere in Queens, I adjusted my expectations, I slowed way down, and I just focused on finishing. I think you can probably tell there's a bit of a shift in my demeanor in the clips from the first half of the marathon versus the second half. I really did enjoy the whole experience, but the second half was really hard. In the last couple of miles of the course, I got to see my grandmother, my cousin, my brother a second time, several friends. It made such a difference, especially at mile 24. I really feel like that support, especially at that moment on the course, gave me a second wind, and I felt so good crossing that finish line in a way that I didn't feel for the several miles leading up to it. To be honest, I don't know if my performance on Sunday was a sign that my training was insufficient or that my goal was unrealistic. There are so many factors at play on marathon day. For me, maybe the fact that I was in Japan up until a couple days before, or that I was vlogging and taking pictures on the course, or the fact that every time someone cheered my name because they read my shirt, I did a little fist bump and said, woo. These are all possible factors that may have affected how fast I ran, but the reality is there's nothing that I would change about the experience. My official race time was 4 hours, 51 minutes, and 36 seconds, and I am so proud of that time. All in all, I have a pretty undramatic first marathon story, which I'm really grateful for. I didn't have any injuries, I didn't have any major pain. Even a few days later, I have some muscle soreness, but I can go up and down stairs, and that's all you can really ask for after a marathon. I think my favorite thing about the New York City Marathon is that it's not just for the runners, it's for the entire city of New York. I remember when I was a little kid watching from Central Park as my 4th grade teacher ran past, and all the times that I've gone over the years to cheer on a friend of a friend or someone's dad or someone's cousin. The marathon is so much bigger than just the people that run it, and that is what makes it so special. So now, the big question, would I do this again? Well, in the process of training for this year's New York City Marathon, I did also complete the 9+1 program again for next year. I also may have entered 1 or 2 lotteries for other marathons in other cities. So we'll see. I can tell you that on Sunday I did not feel ready to do this again just 365 days later. So will I run another marathon? Pretty much definitely yes. Will it be next year? We'll have to wait and see. Marathons make people sappy. This video is certainly no exception, but there are a few thank yous that I want to make sure that I put into this video. So first of all, thank you to New York Roadrunners, the organization that puts on the New York City Marathon and all of the races that I did as part of the 9+1 program. I want to say a big thank you to New Balance for sending me their incredible gear, a thank you to Abbott for inviting me to their Finish Line meetup, and then a huge thank you to everyone who has supported me, whether you were there on the course, whether you were tracking me in the Marathon app, or whether you sent me a text or commented on a video. I can't tell you how much that support means. Even just seeing that I had texts coming in while I was at mile 16, 17, I couldn't even open the text to read them, and they still helped me run faster. So thank you. And finally, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here, please make sure that you hit subscribe. Typically, we're doing a lot of music and travel content on this channel, but like I said, I don't think that was my last marathon, so there'll be some more running videos eventually as well. The music in this video was my own original music. I'll make sure to link it in the video description so you can follow me on Spotify or listen wherever you get music online. Thank you so much for being here, and on to the next one.